Torí tìlú wà lọ́dún débi àmàrí mo fi kọ́gbọ́n ta ni o mọ̀ kò mọ̀ nílẹ̀ yóò ọba eléré lájẹ́ táwa ni o mọ̀ kò mọ̀ nílẹ̀ yóò ọba eléré lájẹ́.
Adébáyọ̀ Aláṣojú, Executive Chairman Solo SCDA. We powered the SAB Colloquium 2022. We powered because Barrister lived the better part of his life in Isolo. He died in Isolo, buried in Isolo. And we are trying to raise the Barrister thing to be a national thing. And that's why we are investing so much in making sure the state take over his house and make it a tourist attraction. Thank you. Well, Barrister is Fuji music. He's the leading light, he's the pathfinder. And we are lucky that he had his Fuji chamber in Isolo. So Isolo is a cradle of entertainment. You have so many Fuji musicians lived in Isolo, still living in Isolo. You have so many of them. But when we talk of Fuji, we have the Fuji chamber in Isolo. And that's why we are trying to ensure the world sees what happened to the Elvis of this world, to the Gianni Versace of this world. And this is happening to Barrister in my own time. Thank you. Fuji music is what almost everybody is enjoying now. If you are dancing hip-hop, it has elements of Fuji music. You are doing this even in churches. So at mosque, Kasalatu, Fuji music is an indigenous music. It's part of us, it's ours. It's from Nigeria to the world. So everybody is doing it in different fashion. Either you're doing it in classical, either you're doing it in hip-hop style, you're doing it in the natural Fuji thing. So Fuji is here. Fuji is here. A very bright future. Like I told you, everybody is just taking from the branches of Fuji now and infuse it. If, for example, a Burna Boy is singing "Ala Ala," ya, you know, that is from the Were section to Fuji. So that's Fuji. Thank you.
Arise, O compatriots. With love and strength and faith, God made one of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve without abandon, God made God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. My name is Alhaji Babatudet Al-Hazan, a popular man called Ogogo. I'm an actor. And I purposely come here because of our late missection, Alhaji Dr. Sekiru and the Barrister. Is our father. And we all love the music, right, when we were youth. So If somebody like Alaji Wasiu and Barrister can be doing the remembrance today, well, I give kudos to him. There's nothing more because we miss the man. That's it. We miss him a lot. But when we are talking about Fuji music, he is. He is. But to God be the glory that he left somebody down for us called K1 the Ultimate. So that's it. That's the thing. Fuji music has come to stay. There's nothing about it. I'm an adult person. You cannot expect somebody like me to be going to all these, what do you call it? I don't know how I can call it, hip-hop, but Fuji music, anytime, any day. Even if I sleep, it's Fuji music. If I wake up, it's Fuji music. Going on the road, Fuji music, that's it. Well, everything mixed together. You understand? We are both artists. We sing, we act, but some of them are mixing up with us by genres and acting, but you can never compare that with our own. But we both work together, that's it.
Ẹni tó jẹ́ pé kò ṣe é gbàgbé ní gbogbo ayé bí o bá fẹ́ gbàgbé ẹni tó jẹ́ Síkírù Àyìndé Barrister Ọlọ́ládé Àlàjí Àgbà, the legendary Fuji creator, ọmọ òdèrè ṣèfà ìmùlẹ̀ àti sọ́ọ̀sì ẹ̀fà. Nǹkan kan láti ṣẹlẹ̀ níjọ́ kan tó máa rántí ẹ̀. Àwọn àgbàlagbà sọ pé àìṣe dáadáa àwọn tó àláyé la fi rántí òkú ọ̀run. From my own point of view, mi rí i pé Àyìndé Barrister kó kú is living a legend. Because he did so many good things in life. Ó bá yọ tí orin kíkọ kúrò, kò tẹ̀ ṣeéṣe kó wà ní Nàìjíríà níjọ́ kan ní Western region kó má gbọ́ orin Dr. Síkírù Àyìndé Barrister. Ó ṣe nínú ilé ẹni àbí lórí rédíò. Tí ò bá tó wá jẹ́ yẹn, he did so many wonderful things in life. He was so generous to a fault. This is a man who could have been a multi-billionaire. From my own experience and conversation with him, he did not choose to go that way. Tí Àlàjí Àgbà bá jáde in a day, he has a silver box. A lò rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú owó tí wọ́n máa fi jáde tí wọ́n máa fi padà bọ̀, it will be empty. Òun pè fáwọn èèyàn rẹ̀. He gave so many scholarships. Táwọn èèyàn, he did not publicize anything he did. Wonderful job he did. At the last getting together we did, one of his wife, and they can testify to it. Àlàjí Àgbà bá ń jáde, a sọ fún ìyàwó ẹ̀ pé wá, owó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ìhun tó bá wọ̀ ẹni fọ náà nínú àbúmọ̀ Dẹ́ráyọ̀. A ní ìhun tó bá wọ̀ ẹni fọ náà níbẹ̀. Kì í ṣe pé he lives for people. The Fuji side of it, let's put it aside. With this now, I don't want to take too much of your time. As I might pay along, tó láyé tó lọ́run, kó bá wa kẹ́ Síkírù Àyìndé Barrister kíbi tó wà. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó ṣe, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ dá, èyí tó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ dá, torí kò sẹ́ni tó rìn, kórí máa mì, Ọlọ́run bàbá forí. Máa forí, máa forí, máa gbé sáfẹ́ rere, mo wá tún wá ń bẹ̀ ọlọ́run ọba gbogbo nǹkan tó fi sáyé tó ń mí àti tí ò mí ẹ má fọwọ́ bàjẹ́ tẹ̀ wọ́n àwọn ìyàwó ẹ̀ ni àwọn ọmọ ni àtàwá ta ìjọ wà ta lè ìwà láyé àdúgbò náà ẹ jọ ẹ bá kẹ ẹ bá gẹ ẹ má yẹ kí n pọn ẹ bá gẹ ẹ má gẹ ṣe túmọ̀ fàtíà bismillahirrahmanirrahim alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin arrahmanirrahim maliki yawmiddin iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Before I drop the microphone, K1 the ultimate. Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú ẹ. Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú ẹ. Bí láyé ṣe ń rí lórí ẹ̀. To some people, K1 is a bad man. To some people, it's good. Mo rántí ijọ́ tí à ń sì máa ń ṣe 8-day kọ́ni àbí final burial ìyẹ́kọ̀ọ́. I personally went to Barrister'S because no matter any offense committed to us by K1 Wasiu, we forgive him because he did marvelously well. Mo rántí gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣe tẹ̀bátẹ̀ ògbà tí ìyẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ti kú ó dẹ̀ fún ìṣe lọ ọdún àwọn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ó nira burú gbogbo tó ń fẹ́ ní ti dáadáa ọdún máa gbà fún ẹ. Thank you very much everybody.
Orúkọ mi ni Adébísí Adéráyọ̀ Balógun. Mo wà níbí nítorí ayẹyẹ tó ń ṣe fún ọkọ mi Dr. Síkírù Àyìndé Balógun. Ó ṣe pàtàkì gan-an torí ẹlòmíà kú ẹsẹ̀ kan náà máa gbàgbé ẹ̀ bọ̀ látìgbà tó ti kú yearly náà máa ń ṣe oríṣiríṣi event láti rántí wọn. Wọ́n ti kọ́kọ́ ṣe kan about 2 weeks ago kéléyìí tó tún come up, so inú mi dùn gan. Àdẹ̀dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ń organize ẹ̀. Ipa tó lágbára ni torúkọ ẹ̀ ò ṣe gbàgbé. Kò sí bá ṣe máa pe Fuji táà ní pe Síkírù Àyìndé Barrister, kò ṣeé ṣe. Ipa pàtàkì. Ó jẹ́ èèyàn tó láàánú, ó jẹ́ èèyàn tó jẹ́ olólùfẹ́, ó jẹ́ èèyàn tó jẹ́ pé kò sí nǹkan kan tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tẹ́ lè béèrè. For example, tálájí bá ní 100,000 tẹ́ bá gbé àánú débẹ̀ gbogbo 100,000 yẹn á kó fún yín. So irú èèyàn tó jẹ́ nìyẹn. Ó ṣe fónílé, ó ṣe fàlejò. Ẹ dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé irú èèyàn tó bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́, tó kóyàn mọ́ra, tó lawọ́, obìnrin ò ní jìnnà sí. Irú èèyàn tó jẹ́ nìyẹn.
Driving
classical Fuji.
Thank you, sir.
Well, the initiative was from K1 The Ultimate. He believed so much in me, and he made me the chairman of the committee. It has been tough. This is a 6-month plan, and to the glory of God, we thank God that it has come like this. It's a very successful show. I want to use this opportunity to thank my mentor, K1 The Ultimate, for giving me the opportunity to share the committee. It has not been easy for the past 5-6 months. Day and night meeting and there. I've been at Radisson for the past 2-3 days for this. Thank you, Goldmyne. Thank everybody that comes for this August event. By next year, it's going to be bigger venue. As I'm talking now, Fuji music has taken over Nigeria. Because if you listen to what these people said, the hip hop, the Afrobeats derives from Fuji. So the future of Fuji music is very bright, and I can assure you, Fuji will take over the music industry in Nigeria as time goes on. Ó ti pẹ́ o, Alhaji Àgbà. Máa ṣe rere láyé mi, máa ṣe rere.
When I was growing up, in my home, it was a taboo to listen to Fuji music. Because it was believed in those days that Fuji music was for who? Was for touts, was for never too rounds. But think about today. Anywhere you go in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world, that they are not playing Fuji music, then I kid you not, they are not having a party. That is the evolution that has happened. What then is the future of Fuji music? I was telling somebody sometime ago, I don't know if this is the right time to say it, that there are some genres of music that no longer exist in Nigeria. Everybody sings Fuji music. The gospel artist, when he wants to make money, turns it up. Or they turn it to tumba. They play Fuji music. The juju musicians, when they want to turn it up, sing Fuji music. So what is the future of Fuji music? And oh, thank God, Maven Records is here. Hip-hop artists, when they want to turn it up and make some money, they sing what? No, if you're afraid to say it, I will say it. But let me hear from you. A hip-hop artist once sang, "Ọmọ lódùn tó yìí, mo gbé mo dáràn, sweeter than honey." Open up those history and said, Fuji re now.
My name is Agbola Sikiru Ayinde, a Fuji music practitioner, music producer, arranger, and composer. The National President for Fuji Musician Association of Nigeria, and Fuman. Yeah, I think we all resolved to converge here today to celebrate the Fuji music creator, the founder of the genre called Fuji in the musical scene. Alhaji Sikiru Ayinde Barrister has done pretty well. Courtesy him, the Were music, which was used in waking up the Muslim fidels during the fasting period of the Muslims, was metamorphosed into what is called Fuji now. And he worked tirelessly to ensure that the genre he founded then was taken to an enviable height before his demise. To whom much is given, much is expected. While he was alive, I'm a Fuji music practitioner. He knows me, and I never heard that any time, any day, any moment, he called on any of the practitioners that took after him to bring what is called royalty. You know, we have traditions. Most importantly, in the Yoruba setting, we are cultured. Àwọn èèyàn tí ó bá wá gba ilẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa tó fi ń dáko, each time tí
wọ́n bá ti fẹ́ tán ti fẹ́ kórè oko tán ti ń ṣe harvest wọ́n máa mú nǹkan wá fún àwọn èèyàn tí ó fún wọn lẹ̀ àbí tán gbalẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ so òun ló dá kínní yẹn lẹ̀ àwọn náà ṣe wàhálà tó fi di ti ìlú mọ̀ká yá kò sí mi ń gbọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe pè mí náà ni wọ́n pẹ́ ẹ wá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mi dá kínní yẹn lẹ̀ ẹ̀ láti olówó tẹ̀ láti máa fún mi torí tẹ́ fi ń jẹ tẹ́ fi ń mu tẹ́ fi ń bọ́yàwó ni. I'm a Fuji music practitioner purely. And the man is worthy of being celebrated in any moment. So hence our resolve to converge here. The initiator of this very program is no other person than Mayegun of Yoruba land himself, K1 the ultimate, the king of Fuji music. He has taught it right. I say, okay. Some people may be saying, why did you take them so late? This is the 12th year of the demise of the creator of Fuji music. There can never be smoke without fire, and it's better late than never. We are kicking off, and we are kicking off right.
So ladies and gentlemen, to welcome us and tell us the idea behind all this, why he decided that this must be done, permit me to welcome our leader, the Mayegun, not just of Yoruba land, but of the universe. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome K1, the ultimate, Ade Ori Oki.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All entertainers here present, the Honorable Commissioner, who is here directly representing the leadership of government in the state, and so also our Honorable, directly responsible for my constituency, and constituency of the man we are here to do a lot about today. Honorable Jude, welcome you, and very many of our veterans, lover of Fuji music, the family of my late father, the wives and the children, and his personal friends, Mario Salah, like Yusuf, and very many others, gentlemen of the press. So also, I'm sorry, the chairman of his solo SDA, who is much concerned and directly involved in putting all this together, Honorable Bayo Olasheju, and his counterpart from the legal group, Honorable Johnson. I welcome you. We're in your territory, and I believe we are covered. I welcome you all. Before I going further, I will have to say big thank you to the rest of the team that put this together for us. Members of our core group whom we share this talk together. This has been a very tough responsibility for all of us. We volunteer to do it because of the love we have for this journey of music, the man behind it, and very many of us who are still together today, and the future of it that we are looking at. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you for taking painstaking time that span over four months or 5 months thereabout to be able to come out with something like this. I've been hearing about people using the word colloquium. And I've gone in search. I'm not worried. But you need to seek from those that have knowledge what is colloquium. And exactly what it meant was just a few minutes ago said by the Empire that colloquium means sitting together to discuss where we're coming from, where we are, and where we're headed to. That has to do with a particular entity, the person of late Sikiru Ayinde Barrister, whom we all hold in higher esteem. And it gave me honor and joy to see that Almighty God lead, and I follow to lead the rest of us to put this together. On behalf of myself and the rest of you, I say thank you and glory be to God. Now, to declare this open, permit me also to say, we'd like to tender apology that after more than 10 years that we lost Alhaji Barrister, this is coming up. But so also, Yoruba people, they have their words to conquer many things and to describe exactly as it is to their faith. They will say, àsìkò tó yá Ọlọ́run, òun ni a ṣe yẹn. Tí kì bá ṣe bí Ọlọ́run bá kọ́lé náà, kọ́lé ṣe lásán. 10 years and over, we started the next line of action about the man Barrister, about Fuji music, and the future of Fuji music. A lot has been put in place. Permit me also to say a big thank you to the brain behind Fuji and Opera, who happens to be my partner in the newfound direction to place Fuji music where it rightly and truly belongs. So many faces that may not like Wasiu. It's very, very unfortunate. You might not like me, but you can't change the will of God on my person. But it would rather be better you like me and you join hand with me to search for a better thing. Not only to the man Wasiu, to those before Wasiu, the man who established this, the man who is a pathfinder, the man who created opportunity for those of us doing and enjoying today to have a forum where we can say we are practicing our trade. Ever since I started as a jewelry, then to the Fuji really, I started professionally when I was 15. And if I do not know calculation, I am 65 just a few days back. And I can see I put in 50 years of my life. And if no one see anything good in that, I see something beautiful in that. So I glorify the Almighty God. There has never been a time me and my late boss ever shared any animosity. None of that. Number one. Number two, and I start to be corrected among entertainers, with the exception of Baba Ibn Salabi. I think I am the most closer person as a musician in the same act with him during his lifetime to date. I've served him gloriously. I learned a lot of rudiments of that business from him, and that's pushes me forward today to be able to adjudge the very best in the life of Fuji music. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister first Colloquium. Glory be to God Almighty. That either dead or living, Sikiru Ayinde Barrister will be the first musician, entertainer that the word Colloquium will be used for. That means we score another first. We score another first, and this shall continue and shall outlive the majority of us that started it. Another thing of note before we go to the business of today is to tell you in the last 2 years what we've been able to achieve. when we started, having waited 10 years. Why did we wait 10 years? We wait 10 years because there are a lot of ideas here and there. We need to sample, collect words from people. We need to seek knowledge from those that are very, very important in the trade of entertainment, arts, and culture, to be able to define a mode of what we should be doing to celebrate an enigma. Someone you believe no other thing can surpass him, to over-describe about the person. So it took me a longer time to seek support here and there. I called professionals, learned people, the fellows. I called majority of his personal people, whom he never met during his lifetime, but they are darling of his music and his work. We sit down many times. I crisscross the world. Those of them in abroad, I find time to speak to them on the phone when it's necessary. We go to see each other. I go, I seek advice from people, and I waited on my time. So that is the journey, the first 10 years journey. And it's today I come out to say that 10 years wait really worth it. Because by the time we stepped out, our first showing after the 10th year prayer at his residence, the headquarters of Fuji, a place he had already chosen for himself while he was alive, Fuji Chamber. Immediately after we rose from that prayer of that time, we set the ball rolling and we started in earnest. That took us to the Alaya Same, Akadenuga House at Ikoyi. This is where we first began the journey. Symposium was organized, and we do a lot of showing. We showcase names, very many names. Many people don't even know they exist in this journey of music. Right from Ajiwere, what is Ajiwere, what is Ajisari, up to this point that we found ourselves. And it gladdens my heart to see that all these things is not something I could just sit in my sitting room and come up with without me calling other people, other participants to come in and join hand with me. So to some ill's mind, you don't want to mistake, you don't listen, or you don't look into what critics sometimes has to say. They might be there to use it as a tactic to change your mind. They might be there to finish you completely, not to be able to have anything to do. So at the end of the day, permit me to welcome one of our living fathers who is just walking in. A man we hope one day a thing like this will be set for him too. I like you, Colloquium, and I welcome you.
Good morning, I'm Mrs. Yemi Dairo Balogun. Firstly, I want to thank the organizer because he really did well. For somebody, after 12 years, you still remember somebody like this is a very big something. So I really appreciate them. And I'm happy to be here. We, the family, we are happy to be here today to celebrate our husband, our father. And we thank God for the opportunity to be here today. Alhaji Sikiru Ayinde Barrister is a wonderful man. He's a good husband. He's a good father. He's a wonderful man. He's very caring, and he loves his family. He loves his people around him. He loves his extended family. So, we can't stop missing him. Yeah, my advice to the young people that are in the industry, that they should just keep the good name. Barrister is the creator of Fuji, and he has been doing well with Fuji. And Alhaji Mashato is trying. He's really doing well. So people should follow their footsteps and make the name more and more great.
While Alhaji Barrister was alive, I took up the challenge to be the one that puts many things together. I remember calling a meeting. That time, used my relationship with many young artists at that time, and with Alhaji Kollington on our side, minus Alhaji Barrister, at first, we sat down somewhere at the Rovans in the Ibadan to fashion out a way of coming together, all of us. And that gave room to me getting home the next day to jumpstart what is now known as the running Fuji Museum Association of Nigeria. I did the writing of the document with my personal lawyer, Shola Abida. I think Mr. Abida was here. And Turayo, my secretary, do the typing. And Kolatiti Skiru was the one supervising and giving some ideas for it necessary. And we fashioned out the constitution. We checked on Nigerian constitution, Nigerian Barrister'S constitution, and very many other constitutions of our association working and striving well to bring out something to fashion out a better future for our journey of music. That is my journey way back then. And after that, we came out with a document that we have to approach the corporate affairs to register and do very many things, which I did. While I was writing the constitution, I did not infuse any words. I did not con any words. I did not put in dangerous words that would say Wasiu is taking credit away from Barrister, or Wasiu is doing any course or starting any new course in the course of Fuji music. Nothing was written. Nothing was incriminately done to either fix myself. I'm only doing mine for the man I love. I want to surprise him all my life. I want to keep showing him reason why he should believe I am loyal to his person. And I'm glad to God Almighty. I have achieved that. You know, we go, we register full man, and it becomes what it is, the journey so far. Now, permit me also to thank the presence of my brother, Idris Olonide, the Temple Organization. The support and push you gave me over the years, the result of it, first stage, is what we are seeing now again. I thank you immensely, Idris. God shall lead you, all your ways shall be open. Thank you so very much. In all, we have the next stage. The next stage is to get in touch with the leadership of our country, to have a proclamation, to have a declaration, to declare two things for us. To declare Sikiru Barrister is the man, and to also declare Fuji is the only indigenous African music that stays and comes to open up the music and opportunity. And the leadership has agreed. So, let's not mind the factor, let everybody getting angry anywhere. Let them rest assured that it's either you join the trade now, so that we can all take and share the credit in the end, or you continue to wait in there. I'm not going to beg anybody, but I can only speak to your mind, so that you know, oh, you took if you don't agree in that, Barrister has gone. One day Wasiu will go. Several of you two will go. But those who will leave this judgment, this living for, will have a document. We have something. The people that started this country, that has gone, the record is there. The people that started America, that has gone, the record is there. I think America is on the 45th or 46th president. Someone started, he took #1 position. So that is what life is all about. The present president of Nigeria is not the first president of Nigeria. So leadership changes and life continues. So the only way you can make an impact in life is when you join hands with others to prepare a better book that will contain your name. I will successfully convince the leadership that That shall be proclaimed in a short while. I have the joy to announce to you such proclamation will be made, citation will be set, barrister will be set aside. Upon the fact that it's MFR, a day will be set aside to celebrate barrister and celebrate the joy of Fuji, the music of Fuji. And that will conclude my first stage of immortalizing the word, the Fuji, the joy of Fuji, and the man secure the barrister. Thank you very much. I give thanks to all our participants today, people that will be deliberating on the issue we put forward. I thank you all for coming, wherever you might come from. I thank you, and the journey has just begun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For those who have not heard that song, that's my new song. It's coming out next week.
He believes in eat and live and let live, not live and let die. You understand? He believes in seeing people growing. That is, if you are, especially if you're in this field, he will always advise you, do the right thing, put decency in whatever you're doing. You understand? For all, I mean, like if you can tell from his the music that he there's some music here in Nigeria that the people when they die, man cook all only warning. Chill boy, man cook all only. So you might not fella care one fella to only it took them long time. But Barrister when he was alive, he has already seen a lot of successful Fuji artists. Oshupao, Pasuma, Obesere, they were all successful in front of him. You can't say it with other music. So it shows the kind of person he is, that he's not selfish, he's not greedy. His product is K1. Seko Tonyogo. And the future is that all of them still need to work harder because, like I said, with previous person interviewing me, that when Barrister was alive, all these existing stars were there. But since he died 12 years ago, no new superstars rise from Fuji. Do you get what I'm saying? Fuji has not produced another top star. Ojoaye Barrister, Aluko, gbogbo wọn ti reign, Shanko Rashidi. But since he died, I cannot see any new thing. So it is our traditional music. They should not let it die. They should continue to help the upcoming ones so that that legacy will be sustained.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome, to talk to us, one Nigerian that holds the singular honor of being the first Nigerian, the first professor of dance of the Faculty of Arts, first professor of dance in Yoruba history. A round of applause for him. I'd like to welcome Dayo Odeyemi Barrister, who wrote a book on Agbaki and also Kelly Korede. Thank you very much.
I will try to rest on the existing protocol. I'm sure that there are many things people that are still like. His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner, our revered and eminent traditional rulers here present, the Mayegun of Yoruba land, I call it Mayegun of the world, of the universe, Alhaji King Wasiu Olasunkani Ayinde Wagwan. Baba, Chief Adisa, CFA. Alhaji Kolinti Ayinde, Baba Wani Kwara. Otuba Adebayo Olasoju, Chairman, Solo Local Government Development Authority. President, Fuji Musician Association of Nigeria, Fuman, and the entire members. Fuji Opera, Temple, Goldmyne, the entire family members of Dr. Sikiru Ayinde, Barrister LFR, our highly respected fathers and mothers here present, distinguished members of the audience here present, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I say good afternoon and welcome to today's colloquium. With all sense of humility and respect, I need to thank the organizers for the invitation extended to me to be a part of this historic and important event. I'm excited standing in front of this audience, particularly our Fuji minstrels, who are great music ambassadors that we are proud of. Thank you, and I'm indeed grateful for the honor and privilege. Today's presentation reminds me of my teenage years, the earlier part of my life, when we were to listen with rapt attention to sonorous voice of Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister as he releases new albums, which of course were filled with deep Yoruba language, tinted with riddles, metaphors, innuendos, lyrics that are direct or indirect and filled with great entertaining vibes. At that tender age, I had the privilege of attending numerous occasions like today's and others, where not only the singing prowess of Alhaji Agba was only displayed, but his adroit leg and body movements in action. I'm sure you have seen him dancing. As a matter of fact, his and that of King Sunny Ade are incomparable back then. All these reshaped my thinking and knowledge of music and dance as practice and profession, and clearly showed that it takes a committed soul to pitch tent in our creative world, which is an aspect of human existence.
Yes, so my people, my name still remains the same. So Alabi Pasuma, Oganla, Ejoba Fuji. We are here at the Radisson Blu in Ikeja for the to celebrate our father, our daddy, the creator of Fuji music, the blessed memory, Alhaji Sikiru Ayinde Barrister, at Radisson Blu in Ikeja. So it's a great day for many of us, mostly myself. Being here today, I'm happy, and it's a very emotional day for every one of us. So if you can see many of Fuji artists here, they presented here now. K1 The Ultimate was the organizer of this great occasion, and Babawa Obe, they are here as well. And Alhaji Kolinti Ayinde is there as well. So it's a great day, and it's a very emotional day. And I thank God I'm alive to witness such a day. And may God bless every one of us. Keep on supporting Fuji music. That is the street Fuji. That is where the music comes from. If it is not Fuji, it is not anything. This genre is the real one. That is where every one of the genre tap from. They tap from Fuji music. And Fuji music is not going to die. I assure you that. Fuji music has a a very brighter future, and we're still looking forward to see the new generation coming into Fuji music. I can see them; they are all lazy. They are all lazy. If not for that, they are lazy. Fuji music will have, bringing more new Fuji artists coming, but because they see it as something that is hard, like 3-4 hours on stage non-stop singing and dancing, you can't compare it to the genre of hip-hop that they do 3 minutes, 4 minutes per track. So I think that is why most of them are running away from Fuji music. Fuji music is good. That is the street Fuji. If this hip-hop is no more tomorrow, Fuji music will still remain as it is. That is it.
Unlike language that has syntax and semantics vary from one country and culture to culture, music has been said to be a universal language, as what seems to be a piece of good music in Angola and what seems to be a piece of bad music in Netherlands may remain bad music in Nigeria. The way Hallelujah Chorus by George Handel will sound in Taipei is the same way it will sound if played in Taraba, because sounds that are produced do not change much across cultures. So emotions and ideas can universally translated and understood. His Excellencies, invited guests, our music ambassadors here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, how I wished this presentation tagged Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Agbaje Lola Barrister's impactful musical exploits. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow was being done or showcased at an occasion celebrating the musical icon of our time, either through the joyful celebration of his life birthday, not posthumous, or a significant achievement while he was still alive. We shall then be able to understand better the veracity, complexity, and enormity of the work he has done in his creation of narratives around the world of Were as transformed to Fuji music genre. My presentation today further affirms that my youthful thought over 40 years ago, sitting consistently and patiently, listening to Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister's albums, has been released. His dexterity in his use of language, weaving of syllables in song, and blending same with admixture of instrumentations were extraordinary and amazing. Therefore, this session today will likely rest on his characterization using the 6 C's, 2 P's, and a T construct perceived through the prism of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I quietly broken them down as follows. The first one is to look at his compositions and renditions, followed by creativity and innovation, to be followed by compositor and delivery. The next one is culture promotion and socialization quotient. Then we'll look at currency and relevance, followed by crusades, which will highlight his moral, social, religious, political, and economic crusades embedded in his lyrics. Then we look at philosophy and thematic depth. Then followed by performance practice. Then we look at his travels as Nigerian ambassador, which further exposed Fuji to the outside world. For a broader perspective and deep understanding of his travails and triumphs in the institutionalization of Fuji as a musical genre, let us take a peek into his bio. Mr. Fuji in proper context, content, and perspective. A peek into his bio. The late Ààrẹ Dr. Sikiru Ololade Adeyinka Ayinde Balogun, MFR, MLC, AIMA, undoubtedly was the creator and garrison commander in chief of Fuji music. A globally acclaimed title. He was born into the family of Agbaje Salami at Ayeye in Ibadan and Salawe family of Lagos Island on February 9, 1948 at Iga, Salawe, but grew up in Mushin. In an interview he granted Consult Television as posted on YouTube on 04/12/2018. He narrated that his father was a popular musician in Ibadan while he was growing up in Lagos. He attended his elementary education at Mushin Mission School, Odiolo, Mushin, Lagos. He then proceeded to Yaba Polytechnic between 1961 and 1963. He became an Ajisari singer at tender age of 10 at Masawale area of Mushin. Sakara and Apala music were in vogue when he was growing up, particularly that of El Saka, Baba Olatuji Yusuf, and Aruna Ishola, which influenced his music career. Due to the religious and cultural factors, most of the Ajisari singers of his period either moved to genres like Apala, Sakara, or other professions. He was signed on at the age of 18 strictly as an Ajisari performer alongside Sunnyside, Idowu Animashaun, and Morufu Akode. It was at this point that Onsuru Akode. Okay. It was at this point that he was confronted with which name to call his own type of music, whether to call it Faji music. But he remembered that there was a mountain in Japan known as Mountain of Love, named after Fuji. He then decided to name his own after Fuji Mountain.
Fuji music, it will never die. It was not big. It was not like this when we started. It's growing every day, and it will continue to be growing. Fuji artists are growing every day as well. It's not when you start that people will start knowing you. You have a lot to do. You have a lot of jobs to do. People up there, they are not stopping. They are still working. People coming behind will work as well. Everybody with his own time. Anyway, we are still missing him. Barrister is very, very, very important, and I would say God brought him to this world to help us, to bring what called Fuji, to bring it up, and he has done his part. Then it's for us to continue. Every of his music is my favorite. Fuji gabe, ìjókòó tí mo tún gbòde òde, ọdún ọ̀rọ̀rùn láti jó, ọdún ọ̀rọ̀rùn láti jó, ọdún ọ̀rọ̀rùn láti jó.
His first record, single of 3 minutes, was released the same day King Sunny Ade released his in 1966 by the Niger Songs and African Song 2IC. He later joined the army in 1968 and fought at Onitsha front, where he was wounded and sent back to resettlement center at Oshodi. He then retired from the army in 1974 to become a full-time musician. In 1976, after gaining wide acclaim with his 6th album, Ori Mi Ewo Ni Se O, he made Fuji music more popular through dedication, love, and interest. He was of the belief that anything worth doing at all is worth doing well, and he excelled all through. His characterization, composition, and rendition. Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister was highly gifted and talented. His voice modulation could be likened to that of hourglass drum in creation of pitch and switching to different forms based on the knowledge and expertise of the handler. He had mastery of Yoruba language, Arabic knowledge, and that of other tribes in Nigeria in particular. He knew when to express such in composition and renditions. He was a genius and not only a fantastic composer, but a great musician. His ability to modulate his voice to different pitches was peculiar to him. His recitation of verses from the Holy Quran guarantees a firm base he brought in from Ajiwere. Essentially, Alhaji Agba was on-the-spot composer who sang spontaneously and effortlessly, and one of his striking traits of character was his open adoration of his mother, himself, and his band boys. Barrister's high-pitched and silvery voice that he creatively modulated as he deemed fit for that moment alongside his gripping style of eulogizing himself and his mother magnetized me to him. I completely agree with one of my academic sons, Kolon Shofatai Adisa, when he said, and I quote, "I particularly envy Sikiru Ayende's genuine adoration of his mother, Aja Ode Sifau. Where others could be pedestrian or not totally with it, a submissive listener could feel the passion, the pain, and the joy of mommy's boy attempting to envelope his love fully addressed to his mom in just a song. That was the man, Barrister. At any time, never hid his inexhaustive affection for his mother. For every time the late Mistro mentioned his mom's first name, Odere, in a song, his voice amazingly pitched differently with the support, extraordinary instrument that supports it every time. Suffice to say that the love of a son for his mom is powerfully different, unexplainable, and incomparable. Eventually, the son is a star. The love becomes even enigmatic. Or is there any Odere anywhere else in this world that you may have known other than Ajia Sifau Odere? Ode. I greatly agree with his submission that Mama was all in love to Dr. Sikiru, the barrister. His creativity and innovation. He was a fantastic creator and had flair for innovative ideas. For instance, he introduced the application of piano to Fuji music in performance. It really amplified the sound and performance as demonstrated in Fuji Garbage series. We know that series. The display of adaptation of different musical formats and instrumentation kept him at the top till he died. In addition, he leveraged on visual power by having a video release of his songs where he demonstrated his skill of dance, stepping with permanent dancers, interacting or displaying or explaining whatever he's singing to the audience. His composure and delivery. In performance or through his albums as released, he had grips and control of the moments. As he gets onto the stage for performance, the atmosphere changes. He was confident of himself and straight. He had powerful delivery strategies, which his band boys and girls understood. At times, he can talk sing or pre-sing for a long period or of time before the real actions commences. On the other hand, if his band boys overrun him, he brings them back stylishly. Our refusal to heed the early warning signal flagged off by Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister is reality of an ubiquitous presence of such elements in our urban areas today. The prophet in him saw it coming, sounded a note of warning, but we failed to heed. Had we listened to him, issues of insecurities of lives and properties wouldn't have been the way it is now. Again, many of his songs were directed at ruling class, counseling them to have the love of other people, particularly the downtrodden at. Barrister gave a voice to the voiceless and advocated societal changes and betterment in his musical exploits, his philosophy and thematic depth.
My name is Mrs. Yetunde Olubumi Balogun, the wife of Alhaji Sikiru Ayinde Barrister. I am here for the special occasion of today. It's very important because of the life he lived, what he was able to achieve. He's not somebody that we even celebrate in a day. He's somebody that you can celebrate every day. Every day, because he was a very great man and was a great he was an achiever, great one. He was Fuji himself. He was Mr. Fuji. So he himself was important, and the music must be important too. He was a very great man, was caring, was humble, was peaceful, was a contented man. Because sometimes when you tell him you want these things, mi nítorí ẹ lọ gbé born now, mi ní ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kí n ṣe. So he was a very contented man. He was a loving person. He was very humble to the core. I don't have a good voice, but I will just, okay. Máa ṣe rere láyé mi, máa ṣe rere. Máa ṣe rere láyé mi, máa ṣe rere. Èmi ò ṣèkà láyé, mi ò ní ṣèkà lọ́run, mi ò ní ṣèbàjẹ́ ọmọlàkejì. Máa ṣe rere láyé mi, máa ṣe rere. Báyé ń gbógun ẹ ṣá máa hùwà rere o. Báyé ń dìtẹ̀ ẹ ṣá máa hùwà rere. Àbọ̀ àfàbọ̀ fóníṣẹ́ ó ti dá mi lójú. That is all he did in life. He sang it, he lived it. Yes. Future of Fuji music in Nigeria. In Nigeria, things don't remain the same. We don't know where things are going in Nigeria, so I wouldn't be able to say where the future of Fuji music is going. But I know Alhaji Ayinde Marshal is putting in his best to sustain this legacy. He's putting in his best to make it better. So I think with his efforts and cooperation of other Fuji artists, it won't get bad. There will be a result.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel GoldmyneTV and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.